Brilliant has brilliantly decided to sponsor this brilliant video, and to learn more about their brilliant service you can go to brilliant.org/featurehistory or wait until the end of the video to hear more brilliant information. Brilliant. Hello and welcome not back, because we're doing something a bit different today. I've spent the last 3 days subjugating myself to the gameplay of Assassin's Creed so that we can delve into the history and shitstory of the first game of the award-winning history nerd franchise. To offer you guys some more content in between the larger animated videos, I thought it would be fun to break down the series, starting with Numero Uno. I thought it was fun until I played it. Oh. Oh. The game, a pseudo Prince of Persia follow-up from Ubisoft Montreal, hit shelves in late 2007 with an incredibly fleshed out vision of a hooded assassin jumping rooftop to rooftop, assassinating powerful people during the Third Crusade in 1191. With a setting like that, pretty much uncovered outside of strategy games, the studio found itself swamped in a setting full of rich history, with historical figures appearing in the game such as Richard the Lionheart, Robert de Sable and Salah al-Din,
Be strong like Salah-ad-Din!
And even the many inspired characters such as Al-Mualim, based on the real Rashid ad-Din Sinan, and Majd ad-Din, based on Ibn Shaddad. Portraying both real and fictional figures from both the Crusaders and Saracens, the game kicked off with a wisely worded "please don't be mad at us" screen. You then dropped into a psychedelic nightmare and ripped straight out into the futuristic setting of 2012. The game places you, the player, as Desmond Miles.
Lie down, Desmond. Lie down, please. Lay back. I need you to lie down, Desmond. Lie down, please. Lie down, Desmond.
An everyman, slightly unshaven, lame white dude voiced by Nolan North. Very relatable. The entire plot of all the Assassin's Creed games revolves around the Animus, a high-tech plot tool that allows Desmond to relive the memories of his ancestor Altair ibn La'ahad, his great, add some more greats, grandpoppy that looks exactly like him. Now that's a lot of inbreeding. Altair is a master assassin in the Assassin Brotherhood, based on the real Hashashins that really did exist. The Hashashins were an armed branch of Ismaili Muslims, who were very used to hiding their faith to avoid persecution in the largely Sunni-dominated Holy Land. Without a large standing army, the sect grew reliant on espionage and assassination, which gave them the name Hashashins. Or that might have been because their enemies betrayed them as being a bunch of hash smokers. Anyways, all that led to the growing fear and paranoia around the secret society. What they did not have though was the amazing brand management of the fictional Assassin Brotherhood, with logo bearing banners and architecture and a sick white hooded uniform, as I'm sure many of these things sort of spoiled the whole hiding thing. Instead, Ubisoft's portrayal of the Holy Land features a world full of consistent uniforms, monkey-like free-running from all able-bodied people, and a very consistent script for all guards.
You dare steal in my presence? Find favor that one will cost you your life! Why would he do that?
However, those can all be pawned off as gameplay and budgetary compromises. Instead, the real inaccuracies come through on the stances that the factions seem to take. The assassins are portrayed as standing against the Crusaders, as heroes for the people. However, the real Hashashins didn't really ever take a side. They often allied with Crusaders against Salah al-Din, and they certainly never had a rivalry with the Templars. In fact, the assassins of Masyaf weren't really a big deal. It was their Iranian counterparts that many historical records discuss, and well, that's just too far away from the Holy Land. Now the whole game spans across Masyaf, Acre, Damascus and Jerusalem, all with their own colour schemes to reflect who's in control, how the war fares there, and the mixed cultures of the places. This really just melts into whether you're going to Grey City, Gold City or Green City. In all of the cities, you play the same painful investigation missions until you unlock your assassination mission. You assassinate Garnier de Nablu, who actually died a year later, William de Montferrat, who actually died in Tyre, not Acre, and looks really great in the game for being in his early 80s. Ibn Jubayr, who died in 1217, not 1191, is a book-burning madman in the game, which is odd for the scholar, traveller and historian that he actually was. Sibrand, who died in 1191, in Akkad, so that actually lines up, nice. Robert de Sable died in 1193, so did Al-Mualim, but really those characters are so different from their historical counterparts that the year they died in is the least of the inaccuracies. Throughout the assassinations on all of your 9 targets, you discover they're old Templars, conspiring using a piece of Eden powered by ancient precursor technology to enslave humanity and create peace and order in the Holy Land and beyond. Now I couldn't actually find a reference on Wikipedia for that, so I'm gonna reckon that's probably not true. Instead of being a secret order that has existed as long as time, or whatever the latest AC law says, I don't fucking know anymore, the real Knights Templar was created after the First Crusade to protect Christian pilgrims on their way to the Holy Land. With the support of the King of Jerusalem and the papacy, they expanded into a network of banks with massive financial influence. With lots of money, they opened chapters across Europe, and all members would swear an oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience, which I'm sure they all definitely followed. With the kicking off of the Third Crusade, they stood as defenders of the Crusader states and embedded with King Richard's army. The idea of the Templar Order being a small secular group of conspiring influential men in both the Crusaders and Saracens ranks is pretty far-fetched. If there was any conspiracy, it was for profit. However, Assassin's Creed should be commended for actually sticking a lot closer to history than many other games would have. The Assassins are based in history, the Templars are based in history, the Frankish armies, Saracens, Hospitallers, they're all based in actual history from the actual time. As the games went on and got a lot better, the whole Assassin-Templar rivalry really stretched to find basis, and by that I mean it really just makes it all up. While I might not be able to appreciate the game, being a 6-year-old when it came out, I do appreciate the fact that a large studio had the cojones in a post-9/11 world to go in, spend a shit ton of money, and come out with a AAA action-adventure set in 1191's Holy Land. For all the bizarre portrayals of historical figures, factions, and just plain old inaccuracy, the Assassin's Creed games have time and time again prompted younger people to open up Wikipedia and type in some settings, some wars, some figures. Are they cheesy? Yes. Is the story well written? No. Is the gameplay that good? No, I don't really want to collect all 100 Saracen banners, but did it get me into history? You bet it did. So thanks to Ubisoft for opening up the history books when deciding the setting of their next AAA blockbuster, and I only wish more companies would do the same. And if they do, your boy would really like a sponsorship. Money's pretty tight, boys. Help your guy out. Speaking of, don't be like me. Don't waste 3 days of your life playing Assassin's Creed. I could have been learning skills like science, or math, or physics, but instead I suck at them. But you don't have to. With Brilliant, the tools to learn these ideas are more accessible than ever. The website and app allows you to learn unfamiliar math and science skills, apply them yourself, and with enough time, eventually have any idea what a math is. Are you tired of learning like this? Well, you can even take on daily challenges and learn something every day. That's much better than crying. So go to brilliant.org/featurehistory and sign up for free. The first 200 people that go to the link will get 20% off the annual premium subscription. Support the brands that support the channel. Thanks to everyone who watched, if anyone did watch, and of course to the patrons and the sponsor, the people who feed me. I hope you guys don't mind me doing something too different, but ultimately it's all with the goal of bringing more enjoyable content to you guys more regularly, even when I'm sick, like I very obviously have been the entire video. Alright, bye bye.